Hello everyone, and welcome. My name is Sam, and I'm the lead tutor and mentor for your Digital and Technology Solutions Professional Degree Apprenticeship. It's great to have you here. Our goal throughout this program is to equip you with not just the technical knowledge, but the professional mindset and practical skills to truly excel in your careers. This session is a cornerstone of that goal, especially for those of you on the IT consultant pathway. Today, we're diving into a topic that sounds a bit formal, but I promise you, it's one of the most practical and confidence-boosting tools in your arsenal: K44 approaches to change control and requirements management. I know many of you are fantastic at building relationships and understanding technology. But without structured requirements and a clear change process, even the best relationships can sour. This session is about giving you the frameworks to move from being a reactive problem solver to a proactive, trusted advisor who steers projects to success. Let's use my scaffold and ascend method to break this down. K44 is really about two interconnected concepts: clarity and control. First, requirements management. This isn't just writing a list of features. It is the disciplined process of defining, documenting, and crucially, maintaining requirements throughout the project lifecycle. It is about ensuring that what we build actually solves the business problem. Second, change control. In the real world, things change. New ideas emerge, budgets shift, technology evolves. Change control isn't about saying no to everything. It is a structured process for evaluating and managing those changes so they don't derail the project. The link is vital. Good requirements set your baseline. Change control manages any deviation from that baseline. Together, they prevent the dreaded scope creep and ensure that at the end of the project, the client gets exactly what they expected, or better. Your role is to be the guardian of this scope. Let's drill down into requirements management. Think of this as the foundation of your house. If it's weak, the walls will crack. We categorize requirements into two main types. Functional requirements describe what the system must do, like the system must process credit card payments. Non-functional requirements describe how the system must be, like the system must respond within 2 seconds, or the data must be encrypted. To get these, we use the elicitation techniques we covered in K35, interviews, workshops, and observation. But gathering them isn't enough. You must document them. We use tools like user stories for Agile projects. As a user, I want to, or use cases for more traditional ones. And crucially, we use a Requirements Traceability Matrix, RTM. This links every requirement to a test case and a stakeholder, ensuring nothing is lost. Verification is the final step, checking that every requirement is clear, testable, and formally agreed before you build. Now, let's look at change control. As I said, change is inevitable, but uncontrolled change is chaos. The process starts with a change request, CR. This is a formal document. If a client says, "Can we just add this button?" you say, "Let's raise a change request." Then comes the most critical step, impact analysis. You must assess how this change affects the iron triangle: cost, time, and quality. Does adding that button delay the launch by a week? Does it require extra budget? This analysis goes to a decision maker, often called the Change Approval Board, CAB. They decide, approve, reject, or defer. If approved, you don't just build it. You update the project plan, you update the requirements baseline, and you communicate the change to everyone. This keeps the project aligned. It is important to understand that K44 looks different depending on your methodology. In a traditional waterfall project, requirements are fixed up front. Change control is rigorous and often expensive because you are deviating from a signed-off plan. In Agile, we flip this. Requirements are kept in a product backlog and are expected to evolve. We welcome change, even late in development. Change management in Agile is about prioritizing the backlog. If a new requirement comes in, it goes to the top of the backlog, but something else might drop off the bottom to keep the timeline fixed. The trade-off is usually between fixed scope, waterfall, and fixed time, cost, Agile. Your skill as a consultant is knowing which approach fits your client's culture and the specific problem you are solving. Let's see K44 in action. Imagine you are halfway through a project. The client comes to you and says, "Hey, can we just add a reporting dashboard?" It's a small thing. This is the danger zone. It's called scope creep. If you just say yes to be nice, you risk delaying the whole project. Your response should be professional. "That sounds like a great idea that would add value. Let's raise a change request and look at the impact." You do the analysis and return to the client. "To add this dashboard, we will need to pause development on the mobile app for 3 days. This means the go-live date will slip from Friday to next Wednesday. Are you happy to authorize that delay?" Usually, the client will say, "Oh, no, the deadline is fixed. Let's leave the dashboard for phase 2. By using the process, you manage the request without being the bad guy. You maintain control. For your portfolio, K44 is about demonstrating governance. Use the STARR method. Situation: on a recent project, the requirements were vague and kept changing via email, leading to developer confusion and significant rework. Task: I needed to formalize the requirements process and implement a change control mechanism to stabilize the project. Action: I created a requirements traceability matrix to link every business need to a technical output. I also established a weekly change board meeting where any new requests were formally reviewed for impact before being added to the sprint. Result: rework dropped by 40% within 2 weeks. The team had clarity, and the project was delivered on the original deadline. Reflection: I learned that structure doesn't stifle creativity, it provides the freedom to build correctly by removing ambiguity. If you are doing your major project, K44 provides the structure for your scope chapter. Start with a clear scope statement. Explicitly list what is in scope and, just as importantly, what is out of scope. List your requirements using a prioritization method like Moscow: must have, should have, could have, won't have. Distinguish between functional and non-functional. And crucially, keep a change log. If you change your approach halfway through because of a technical issue, document it. Change request 001, switch database provider due to latency issues. This proves to the assessor that you actively manage the project's evolution. To conclude, think of requirements as your map and change control as your steering wheel. Do not fear change. It is a sign that the client is engaging and the business is evolving. But you must manage it. Use the tools. The Requirements Traceability Matrix, Impact Analysis, and Change Logs are not just paperwork, they are the tools of a professional navigator. When you provide clarity on what needs to be built and how changes will be handled, you build immense trust. I challenge you to look at your current project today. Is the scope clear? Is there a change process? If not, take the lead and suggest one. Thank you for your time, and keep steering the ship safely. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you now feel more confident in mastering this topic. If you found value in this session, I have a small favor to ask. Please hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and follow our channel. It really means a lot to me and helps the algorithm show these lessons to other apprentices, just like you, who need support. Don't forget, you can download today's slides and the full transcript at www.mentorinai.com EPA Hub. While you are there, check out our mock interview and portfolio review services to make sure you are fully ready for your EPA. See you in the next video. Keep learning.